Okay, welcome to today's video. So we are going to be doing a client that is flying in from out of town. So she has been to me once before, and that was about 2 months ago. So she's coming back for her maintenance appointment, but she doesn't get here till 1:30 and it's 11. So Krista and I are going to be podcasting.
I'm so excited.
This is gonna be a good one.
I literally did homework for this topic.
Well, I am excited to hear about this. She prepared more than I did, so this is gonna be really good. So we're gonna be podcasting. I'll show you guys a little bit of this. And then we decided, since our client won't be here till 1:30, that we're actually gonna do Krista's hair too. So I'll do a separate video on that. I'll show you guys a little bit, but we'll do a dedicated video as well. And then next week we're doing my hair. So we've got a lot of fun things coming up, but right now we're gonna start podcasting.
And I kind of have an idea for my hair.
Okay.
So,
what do you wanna do?
Okay, so here's what I'm thinking, because I've been trying to feel like, okay, how can we, because on hair days,
Yes.
we want to do content for your social media, and then I can obviously get some for mine too.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, what if we did, I love something similar to the butterfly cut, just like lots of layers.
Yes.
But I have noticed that a lot of people, even girls at the school or just other stylists in general, have a hard time cutting that in extensions.
Oh yeah, it's different.
And it is. You have to use, I feel like you have to use a really different approach. So I'm wondering, what if we install like my hair and then we could do like a more in-depth tutorial for your YouTube channel about butterfly cut while, like when a client has extensions.
I love that.
Because a lot of people want extensions and then they want that layer, but it's hard because then people are nervous to cut too much and and I'm like, well, we kind of, so I'm like, that might be a good idea.
I love that. Are you thinking the same color, or what are you thinking?
So, okay, so Shalice asked me to be a website model.
Oh, okay. For what color?
For the Jovi.
Oh, okay.
And so I'm fine just doing the Jovi.
Okay, perfect.
For that, so that way I can help out. And then I figure we can, I like this color. And I think that my color's faded enough to where I think we might be able to.
It has faded quite a bit.
Yeah.
I just realized.
And we use permanent color.
Yeah.
So I think my hair's
But I kind of like this on you. The lighter, like, I've been liking it.
Yeah, it's fun. And then I figure too, I'm so glad we did the bleach wash because then come next, like April, May, I'm gonna do that light strawberry blonde. Yes. Like what I want to be like Beckham.
Yes,
but like,
with the pops of like lived in.
Yeah,
that
but
was
I
my
might
favorite.
even think like maybe adding some Jen or like some Freddie in to like be a dimensional strawberry blonde, like redhead type of thing.
That's my favorite on you.
I think know, and I feel like,
and it's good for spring, like when it's getting a little lighter and stuff. So okay, we'll do that. That sounds great. I forgot I turned them down. I always hate wearing a bun like this because I can never get I always forget. Can't get my headphones on. All right. Okay. Can you hear yourself?
Yep.
Okay. What's up, you guys? It's Jessie.
And Krista.
Pay attention. We're on the podcast. I'm just kidding.
Our second or third home. Yeah. They have, way nicer cars than me and this and that and the other. And I get into my head and I'm like, oh, well, I don't look like this. Well, I want to buy clothes that are like this. Like, you know what I mean? What are your payments every month? Yep. What's your interest rate?
Exactly.
Because,
just because you're trying to keep up with the Joneses,
Yeah.
I actually think the Real Housewives of Salt Lake are a great example of that. And I hope that like none of them get mad at me for saying this. But I've just heard so much, and I don't know how much of this is true, but okay, so our client just got here and we are going to be doing a half highlight on her. She's pretty blonde right now. She came to me actually back in April and got her hair done, and then she's been somewhere else in between, and now she's back here. And she wants to actually tone it down a little, not go like darker, but make the blonde a little creamier and softer, because she feels like she gets a lot of fading to like yellows and oranges, which most blondes do, especially when we do spray tans and makeup. It's like so hard to avoid that. So we are going to be doing a half highlight. We're gonna do a little bit of shadow lighting to break it up a little and soften it. And then at the bowl, we're gonna do a root shadow and tone. So Krista right now is mixing up. I can get this. What is wrong with me? So we got Blonde Me with 20 volume going on. And then I'm gonna mix up a low light, and I'm trying to decide.
A low light.
Low light.
A low light. You better get used to that accent.
I know.
You're gonna be going there soon.
What was the accent?
It's like a wannabe, like
wannabe
English.
I know, I just heard Hannah Montana. I was like, this is so nostalgic. Okay, so I think what I'm gonna do for a low light is 7GB, 7NW, and we're really not taking these all through the ends, we're just gonna shadow light it. So I'm gonna do that with 10 volume.
You're doing 7? Oh yeah.
7GB,
really pretty.
7NW.
And then we'll fix this mess back here.
the mullet's making an appearance.
She's cute though.
Yeah, it's good to be back. So cutest look. I do love the long on you though.
Makes me look skinnier.
You haven't had 22s in a long time.
No,
so this was needed.
Had, even before when I was dark.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's why you look different. Because I was like, oh, I feel like this is like a new Krista.
I know.
Okay, so this is our parting. So we are doing a half highlight and we are doing a halo section, and then we're going to be doing a mix of highlights and lowlights. She wants to stay really bright and blonde. She likes to be cooler tone, but she also wants to add in some lowlights to break it up just a teeny bit. So that's what we're doing. I'm here focusing around the hairline. That halo section that I showed you right at the beginning, that's what I'm working on. And that is always slices or highlights to keep it really bright around the perimeter of the head where she pulls her hair up. It's going to look bright no matter if it's in the front or the back. And that's what I'm finishing off right here. I have a specific money piece that I like to do for most everyone. It's a triangular money piece, and I swear it gives you the perfect peekaboo money piece. It's soft but still bold and bright, and it looks good on blondes and brunettes. It's amazing. I've kind of recently actually come up with sectioning that I've been doing for everyone. It's like my go-to placement, and then within that placement I can do a half, a full, or a partial, and then I can also do a lived-in color or a bright blonde or a brunette. It honestly just depends on like the look the client's going for, but that one placement is my go-to, and then I just mix up my technique inside of that placement. And that's what I've actually been teaching at my blonding and business classes. So we have one more for the year coming up. It's in Dallas, and I do believe it's sold out already. And that, as of right now, it's like 2 weeks away, but when you see this video, it could be either around the corner or already happened. And then we have our next one in Arizona, and that one's going to be in the Phoenix, Scottsdale area, and that is going to be January 20th. So if you are in that area or just looking to take a fun little girls trip, you could come to that class. We're doing the blonding and business on Saturday and then the master certification on Sunday. So you could come to either or you could come to both. And if you come to both, you save a little money. But basically in the blonding and business class, I go over my go-to placement, and my model each time's different. Sometimes I have a brunette, sometimes it's a blonde, sometimes it's lived in, sometimes it's a transformation. It kind of just depends on the actual client. But the manual that you get with the class goes over placement, formulas, everything for any look that you're wanting. And in the class hands-on, I talk about how to pivot that same technique I'm teaching, but for different colors and different inspirations. And then also we do a business portion where my dad comes in and does Money with Michelle. And it's just so much fun because you learn a lot about business, taxes, finances, and all of that. Anyway, now we are doing her extensions. So we did a combination of low lights and shadow lights and then highlights. So you can see us pulling those out now. We prepped her extensions in the back. I put up on the screen what colors we had used. All we had done is just kind of washed and toned them to re-brighten and get them looking good. And then I'm also doing a Scandinavian hairline, and I am using Blonde Me with 10 volume. I like to do this on clients like her who like to be really bright, especially in the front, and she can just never get blonde enough. This is the ideal client for that, but also just any client that wants to be brighter in the front. I would say typically this technique is done best on a level 6, 7 or higher. If they're any darker than that, it's really hard because this is open air and you're typically only letting this sit about 10 to 20 minutes. And it's just making sure you have an even brighter impact. Make sure you don't skimp on your foil work if you are doing this. You saw that I still did that halo. I got really close to her hairline, but this just kind of takes it to the next level. But if you're doing it on any level darker than a 6, it's just a little bit too warm in my opinion, since it is open air and it's not being left on too long. So just kind of make sure you're doing it on the ideal candidate for it. Now we are doing her root shadow. This is one of my go-to formulas, 7NW 7P, and I am just kind of doing that in the interior. I leave the entire halo out. The Scandinavian does sit while I am doing that, so it gives it time to process. So you can see that here. And then underneath in that halo area, I did not touch as well. And then I just do that halo. And then after I rinse the Scandinavian hairline out as well, I tone with this. So here I did 10GI, 9 9P, and I'm toning everything with it, but that halo was not touched by my root shadow. It was just this toner, and then I will rinse that Scandinavian and do just this toner as well. After you rinse your Scandinavian hairline, you can for sure do a little root shadow if you feel like you need to, just to soften it or if it lifted a little warm. But on her, she lifted pretty well, so we ended up just toning it and it turned out perfect. Okay, so this is the color after we were done blow drying and right before adding the extensions. You can see it's a lot softer. It's still bright, but broken up a little bit. It's so complimentary for her skin tone. And then we are going to go through and add the extensions. So we do 2 rows of J-tied wefts, and that is all. We don't do any tape-ins. And I think we did a lot of bags. Yeah, as I look at the screen at what I wrote, we do 4 bags. So that is 6 bundles on each row, and each bag comes with 3 bundles. This is really nice because especially if your client wants to mix and match colors, which we do on her, it's really easy to achieve that this way, and it gives them a really custom result. On her, we use Stu, Freddie, and Alexa, so it gives us that dimension, but also that really bright pop. I always put the blondest or most dominant tone on top so that it matches, and then the peekaboos are just those dimensional colors that shine through. So this is the end of her hair and the end of this video. It was kind of all over the place, but I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you learned something, and I'll catch you next time.
Yeah. Oh, so good.
Oh yeah. So pretty.
So much.
Do you like it?
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's the best. I feel like
That
this
dimension
is
really helps.
It does, because it makes your blondes like pop and feel brighter, but you're soft now, and this is gonna fade out so much better.
And it's like here, I feel like it's a heck of a lot more like
It's gonna be a softer
blending.
grow out.
Yeah.
Yes, yep, exactly. So that when you have that root come in, it's not gonna feel so harsh. It's gonna be amazing.
oh,
So good.
that looks so much better.
I know, right?
Lord.
So good, and you have a lot of hair in, so
Yeah, I know.
That
I
feels
feel
good too.
I'm like, dang, man.
You're like,
Okay,
"It
I'll
is
take you
full."
over here for after.
Okay, perfect.